me or is it cold in my house?
Your house is chilly.
It's at
You keep the
68.
you keep the windows open, and you also got ice cold bars.
I haven't rapped in a while. We rapped under the freeway.
Yeah, we rapped in front of that homeless guy.
Whew. How did I forget about him till right now?
He was nodding out to the beat, right? He was like, "Yo, this shit fire."
It's like simultaneously the saddest thing ever, but because we were drinking and about to go see JID.
Yeah. Do you think he asks you?
It was just part of the experience at that point.
Do you think he asks you to take your shoes off when you step into his house?
And then put him in a pile of shoes.
Yeah, and then you step on
shoes
glass.
Go over there.
You step on glass and needles.
And just go, oh. And he goes, yeah, that's new flooring. Just got that. Just installed that this week, actually. So that's fresh. Mm-hmm. The blood is all natural. Yeah, and watch out for the needles over there. I'm going to use those. Don't step on them.
He shits on the ground so then he can repot some nice flowers and begonias he's got out front.
It was fucked up.
Yeah. I took a picture of it, but he wasn't in the picture. He was probably underneath the umbrella he had set up for a bed.
It looked like disaster relief housing, didn't it?
It looked like when Louisiana got hit by Hurricane Katrina.
It was just devastating, and we had to pay to park there.
Yeah, $20
to have to pay to park there. Sorry, I'm just checking to make sure our levels are good. They are. To have to pay to park there, and then to have to nose in to somebody's trash pile house, to then back in and just headlights straight into his living room, which was also his bathroom and dining area.
Yeah.
That felt awful.
Yeah. I was invading his privacy for sure.
He had no idea we were there. We should actually back up a second. We went to a JID and Smino concert.
Love for Rent concert up in Philly.
Yeah, so Ryan and I bought tickets back as soon as they announced, because that had to begin.
They announced it in October, and we saw that they were coming into Philly March, and we were like, we gotta go. So we got the tickets, drove up, had a fucking slice of za, and then we went to the concert. And I paid for
a nice slice of za too.
Dude, that was a nice restaurant. I liked how it looked like trashy on the outside, like it was just a brick wall.
But the entrance was in an alleyway.
Dark alleyway. You know, if you're a female, don't go there. If you're by yourself, you know.
But then again, it also somehow felt kind of safe.
Why?
The kids walking around. Lots of girls were walking by themselves.
Well, they were, but you know, they live in Philly. They're used to that.
Sure.
But you know, from an outsider, this looked like a dangerous little alleyway. For sure.
From an outside perspective, don't go.
Right. But there's like barely any signage out on the front. You walk up to this sealed off plastic flimsy door. You walk in, marble countertops and a vaulted ceiling in a pizzeria. I was like,
high ceilings,
wait a minute.
Chandeliers that are kind of like neo-modern art. Mm-hmm. You know, there's one that looked like a storm cloud right above the circle bar.
Yeah.
And then, there's just hipsters aplenty.
Dude, everybody was wearing this big wide frame glasses and the shaved side head, but the slick back Tommy Pickles haircut.
Action Bronson was sitting behind us. Did you see those guys?
Yeah, he was eating anchovies on a pizza with a cheese.
It looked like the Fuck That's Delicious crew was having a pizza and a couple bottles of red.
I liked how
right behind
the kitchen had an open glass floor plan.
And you could see those boys working hard.
Sweating
pies
in the cheese, dude. That's the way I like it.
Of ovens.
Anyway, we got some za. Then we went to the concert. We parked out front of the Fillmore. We park in this parking lot that's underneath of the freeway, right? It's not like train or anything, right?
That part was 95.
Either way, we're underneath of this freeway. And, I mean, it's got maybe 100 cars parked in there already. But off to the side where there was really only room left to park, which the guy told us park over there, but there were plenty of other spots to park.
He has to organize it somehow, because otherwise it's chaos.
Hey, but also don't put the tweaking homeless guy in front of my parking spot.
Or
right?
just like rope his house off. Don't.
Yeah.
How about we just don't park there?
Yeah.
How about Ticketmaster takes a fucking $80 hit and doesn't park people in front of that guy's hovel?
I'm sure if we complained about it, maybe he would have just told us to move.
Maybe, but then he would have just put the next guy there, and it would have been a Range Rover.
Yeah. So there was like, when we parked, there was just this guy, no money, obviously. He had dents. He had way more dents than I ever could imagine, but especially in his arm. But he was out front of us, and he was just chilling in the dirt, knees down, head down, just
smashing Beatles.
And me and Jake were like, let's put on some good music for him, because we felt bad. He looked a little cold. We wanted to warm him up a bit. And then we were getting in the groove, and we just started rapping. And, next thing led to another. He starts bobbing with us, and, we just had a good time.
Just put a coat around his shoulders, and he actually spit one or two verses for us.
He did.
Kind of cold.
Yeah.
Couldn't understand the words, but
he was foaming at the
cold.
mouth. They were so hot.
I felt awful. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
I wanted to just like give him money, but it's like that guy doesn't even know what money is.
Dude, he definitely would have used your coat, probably as a blanket because he's cold, right? He probably didn't have a blanket.
There was so much stuff piled up.
Yeah.
It looked like the room of requirement.
Yeah, and Harry Potter. Oh shit.
He just had
so much fucking bullshit.
And then we were saying like when you're, it's like in your house here, like I know where everything is. I know where, my bookshelf is. I know where, you say like, where's the hammer? I'm like, it's over there.
Yeah.
I got to imagine his setup is probably like that.
For sure.
Like if someone's like, where's the piss jug?
Right.
It's over there.
Mm-hmm.
So you could see it had like, it was methodical.
Yeah.
But man, it was just so depressing.
Now, but if you're outside, you probably don't have a piss jug.
You maintain decency. I think.
But you just dig a hole, and you piss and shit, and then you cover it, and then you make another hole.
Maybe, yeah. He could be pissing just like off site,
And where else is he gonna piss? He's not gonna go to the Walgreens down the street and use their bathroom.
Why not? The world's his oyster.
The world is something.
And he's a pearl.
Yeah. But anyway, the concert was fire.
Was sick. So we got in there, and Smino just got on stage.
Yeah. And they didn't have any openers, which I'm surprised.
I think there was one opener that we missed because we got in there around like 8:30.
Yeah.
Doors opened at 8.
But normally, even the opener will be out there for like an hour. But it said the concert starts at 8.
But it's good, though, because like I don't like a whole lot of bullshit. I came to see who I came to see.
Yeah.
Openers is great, but if I don't really know who they are, I don't necessarily always care about who they are. Now, there's some people who we have found from being openers. When we saw A$AP Ferg at the same venue, right? We saw him at the Fillmore, or maybe it was Electric Factory. It was Fillmore because there was a bar, so we went to Fillmore.
It was Fillmore.
We saw Denzel and IDK, and this was before I knew who IDK was.
We also saw Suicide Boys at the Fillmore.
Right, and they brought that was a great A tour. So it was all Gray 5'9" guys when we went there. We saw Ramirez, we saw Shakewell,
we saw Cheddar. Cheddar was up first.
Cheddar, big shouts out to Cheddar. Cheddar just had a new album. Did you like that new Cheddar album?
I didn't listen to it.
You got to listen to that new Cheddar album because it sounds like prime time Suicide Boys.
Yeah. I like Cheddar.
It's gray as hell.
He kind of looks like me. He had like the gold chain out. He had like a nice like black, t-shirt on, sweats.
Like if you worked at a pizzeria.
Certainly.
Greasy.
Yeah.
And maybe like
he was like a less hygienic me.
Way less hygienic. Yeah. Way more money though.
Way more money. Definitely he had like 3 or 4 real chains.
More bitches too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, right? He probably don't get any bitches.
Cheddar gets mad bitches.
Well, if he looks like me, he might get a couple, but
that album was good. You got to listen to that album.
Okay.
Because it really is like what was the Suicide Boys album that came out before Stop Staring at the Shadows? Was that the I Want to Die in New Orleans?
Yeah.
It's I Want to Die in New Orleans era Suicide Boys sound.
Okay.
But it's Cheddar.
Okay. So he's on drugs.
A little rip-off-y.
So he's on drugs.
I couldn't understand his words, so I don't know.
Okay, so possibly. It's possible he had some influence in the drug department.
In the bloodstream.
Yeah.
In the pharma department.
Yeah, we saw I remember when I saw Tame Impala last year, the opener for them, it was like it kind of felt derogatory because just the name and who was the lead singer, but the name of the group was Jungle Pussy, and it was like this big Amazonian woman, crazy.
If she named it,
but I'm saying she probably named the band.
That's okay then.
Right, but it just felt awkward.
If somebody else
if you're
named it.
The producer or the executive was like, well, I like, your name is the band, but also what about Jungle Pussy?
Listen.
Real band, look them up.
Listen, Jasmine, you're beautiful. You're so talented. I could just eat you up. Now, you come in here asking for a contract for a group called Jasmine and the Pussycats. I have a proposition. What do you think about Jungle Pussy?
Yeah. Doesn't that just scream? I don't even know what that would scream, but it ain't good.
That's going to really rope in the audience.
Yeah. God damn.
It's going to tie him in. And then as soon as you're about to walk out on that meeting, he goes, 5 million.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, 5 million. I'm Jungle Pussy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm Jungle Pussy. Exactly. No, but so the reason I brought up the Ferg concert at all was because that's how we discovered IDK, which was dope. Now, this concert, I didn't even know who the opener was going to be. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like I wasn't going to care, Yeah. I only was there for Smino and JID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think I can't remember when we went to go see Logic and Joey Badass. I can't remember who the opener was for them.
Nor can I. I think maybe Joey Badass was the opener at that point.
Was he?
I mean, he was co-headliner.
He was right before Logic.
The middle act.
Yeah.
But opener, I can't remember.
I remember because that's when I stole that woman's blunt. And I was like, yo, can I hit that? And she's like, yeah, sure. And I hit the whole thing. And I was like,
she handed back an L, like a 6-inch L. And then you handed her back a
roach,
fucking
dude.
Roach. Just a damp, wet roach.
I was giving it to people.
You passed it back to me and then to somebody else.
I don't know if Nick hit it.
By the time it got back to her, fuck, man.
Dude, she was like, you could just keep it. I was like, yeah.
Dude, we stole from her, dog.
Yeah. That's when Logic acknowledged you.
That was sick. Mm-hmm. Logic acknowledged me.
Yep.
I feel great. Let's get back to the JID Smino concert.
Yes. Yeah. It was really good.
So Smino plays all... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. We were going to say the same thing.
Smino plays all of his new shit from Love for Rent.
Yeah.
Album that we talked about a little bit a while back, but I don't think we reviewed it on the podcast. It might merit a review now.
No, we did. I don't think I was there for it. And you told me to listen to it eventually. And I did listen to it. And it's really good.
It's got some really good songs on it.
Yeah.
What we discovered was that Smino's music doesn't necessarily translate to live performance.
Yeah.
It didn't have the same impact.
No. I think, like, he's really good at R&B. And he's got, like, that soft voice, which is awesome. And other than looking at pictures, he doesn't really look like how he sounds to me. But watching him perform, you like when you go to like an R&B show, because I've been to a couple. It's never like hype, like trying to get mosh pits going. Mm-hmm. I think he was trying to do both, and it wasn't working. Because Love for Rent's like a real like. It's really good. There are some really good songs on there that have like a good like upbeat, but I feel like he was trying to get the crowd way too hyped up for what his actual content was.
Yeah, you can't have a wall of death mosh pit to no L's.
Open that shit up. Open that shit up.
Plus, let's not even mention the fact that it wasn't instrumental like DJ playing the music. It was a band.
Yeah.
Not instrumental DJ.
Yeah,
not a DJ playing the music. It was a band.
That
live
certainly
band.
Changes the vibe. But there was a guy on like it was like a key guitar.
That was sick.
Yeah.
The keytar?
The keytar. There was this guy on a fucking keytar plugged in. That shit was going hammer, dude. That thing was just...
He had
was
like a
ripping
long
it
ass ponytail or long hair too,
Something
didn't he?
like that.
Because
I
he
don't
was
know.
swinging that shit, bro. It was,
Yeah.
That shit was majestic.
And I think he had a JID shirt on. Like
Probably.
white
He's a
t-shirt.
stan,
I'm
dude.
not sure. But it was a good concert. It was just... That was one thing we took away, was just like some stuff he was doing really wasn't relating to his actual performance.
Now, he played like Noel's and 90 Proof, which are his two like big ones right now.
Mm-hmm.
But then he played Wild Irish Roses. I was hyped about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite Smino song.
Yeah.
It's slow. It's like very like intimate and whatnot. Just, I don't know. Maybe, I'm a geezer now. I had to put in earplugs.
Yeah.
Right? And you forgot your earplugs.
Yeah, you gave me earplugs and I forgot them in my jacket.
I had to put them
Yep.
in, and I think it might affect how that shit sounds when it's a live band playing.
Yeah.
Because when it's a DJ playing, it's just about how loud the levels are.
It gets bass boosted.
And you put the headphones in, all you do is cut out that damaging part of the music, and it's just a good, like, very even level of music that's easy to enjoy.
Yeah.
Live band, though, there's so much variation in the volumes of things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I was just missing a lot of like the higher registers and stuff, but it just didn't sound great. So, I appreciated Smino, love Smino.
Yeah.
Big ups to Smino. But JID was the part of the show that was the best.
Yeah, I think like when you have a band, it's certainly more raw, right? Like, people make mistakes and like you can like speed up the song based off like what the drummer's doing, and people might be off key.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a DJ, I mean, as long as he knows what buttons to press, it sounds fucking good. And I think like they did that raw sound because like I think Smino would have sounded better with DJ, but I really enjoyed JID with the band because his shit's like way more hype and like, drum beat type, like he could rap really over anything. And
151 Rum?
dude, 151 Rum on drums.
Sick.
Man.
Sick.
Yeah. Did he play stick?
He played stick at
He
the end.
played stick at the end.
And that was his closer. So this is the only part of like the live band thing I think that takes away from the quality of the show is that for a song like Stick, it almost needs to have the DJ.
Mm-hmm.
DJ drama needs to be. Y'all think you know what's happening next?
Yeah.
I'm thinking invasions.
Right.
Stop playing on Dreamville's time.
Right. Now, I think that's a no-no on JID's part, right? Like, he should have had somebody who was singing that.
Big no-no.
Like, imagine if the one girl who was singing up on stage, Juliana or whatever her name was, what if she was like, I told you to pray on her. It's like crazy. Like, I know y'all know this next one. We always say that, but, like, you're right. Like, that is a DJ-heavy song, and DJ drama always brings that hype shit. And like there was no lead up to Stick. It was just like the show was almost over. Everybody kind of knew like, okay, we're about to pack things up. And he just kind of like, darkens the light a bit. And then he's like, Stick.
He did open a pit. He opened a pit for Stick.
Yeah.
He's like, I heard that one of y'all wanted to play Stick.
Yeah.
All right, you gonna be my hype girl.
Mm-hmm.
He's so like smoother jazz Andre 3000.
Honestly, he kind of sounds like Michael Jackson.
Oh, he does.
He's like, come on, girl, come up here. I'm going to get a little nervous.
JID's got the smoothest voice.
Yeah.
He's so also, by side note from the show, JID is the most humblest, nicest dude I think I've ever even seen in hip hop. Dude, Suicide Boys, scrim spit on a bitch's face.
But you know what? That's the crowd, though. Like, the crowd wants to be spit on.
You don't think that somebody would have taken a lug from Jiddy?
I mean, probably, but that's not Jiddy's bag.
That's not Jiddy's bag.
Jiddy's bag ain't about, fucking a bitch with his thumb in her ass, and, like, just spitting on her back and shit. Like, that's Ruby the Cherry vibes, right?
Absolutely.
Ruby the Cherry talks about snorting the 30 off of 40.
putting Fenty in her cup.
I mean, I just, it's a different crowd.
Absolutely. Okay, so that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Jitty's bag isn't loose.
Yeah, Jitty's bag is tight.
It's tight.
And
just like the other, so nice.
Yeah.
So down to earth. Would just be, and like he did some like really corny shit where he was like, y'all okay if I get a little emotional on this next one?
Yeah, that was during Brud and them.
And if we were like, no, don't do it.
I mean, he was going tough the whole time, and then he was like, all right, I'm going to play a little something that's a little more lightheaded. And I'm going to just go take a seat, and because I'm a little nervous, so I'm going to turn this way for a little bit.
He said, I'm a little
He
nervous.
sat in the back of the stage, and he like kind of turned to the side a bit.
That was all bad.
Yeah.
That was no. All bad.
He was starting to sing All Bad, and then he transitioned into Brud and them.
Was that when he walked back?
Okay. Yeah, and but man, when he played All Bad, man, that was so good.
Because that's very emotional. Now, I think what he did was he took the beginning of the set, and he kept being like, we got to get the emotional stuff out the way.
Yeah.
We got to, and then we gonna turn it up. He's like, we gonna turn it up just like 10%.
Yeah.
Y'all okay? We turn it up 10%.
Yeah,
and it was please, for the love of God.
Dude, there were so many other songs I want him to play.
I know.
Especially off the Never story.
He hit the big ones though.
He did hit the big ones.
Opened with Never.
Yeah.
He played Louder.
Yeah.
He played Louder too.
Mm-hmm.
Then he played All Bad, Cody Blue 31.
Yeah.
He
played Crack Sandwich.
He played Crack Sandwich. He played Brud and Them.
Mm-hmm.
He finished with Stick. He hit Time. What's the I Got Time?
Yeah, I Got Time.
He played that.
I think he played My Boy.
He played Radar.
Yeah, he did play Radar. That was like second or third song he played.
Yeah, again though, like Radar.
Yeah.
Is an excellent hype song.
Yeah.
But without the DJ playing it, it doesn't hit the same.
I think this is what I come back to all the time is like, when we go out to bars and there's a band there and they're playing fucking Monsters by Eminem and Rihanna. It pisses me off.
Good song.
It is a great song with the fucking right sounds, dude. If you're playing on the drum set,
you mean that like jam session?
Yeah, man. Like
when it's like a
lady. When we used to go to like fucking Rooney's or
downstairs in Deer Park and shit.
Yeah, and like they're playing good music, but on a band set, and it's like it just doesn't equate, dude. Like,
right.
They tried to play Black Beatles that one time.
Molly Percocet, and they're just like
some dudes on a fucking tambourine, like
Percocet, Molly Percocet.
Like, come on, man.
I completely agree.
I think like the band was a really good idea for a lot of JID songs, but. Yeah, he had to play Stick, and I think it would have been easy for the band to just be like, hey, let's take a fucking 5-minute break while these guys jam out on a fucking DJ. Like, imagine if the band just, like, cut down the light, right? They had the heart in the back. Fucking DJ just had some light show going, damping all the lights. He was like, I know y'all know this next one.
He had Crystal
this
there
is an invasion. And you're just like, dun, 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 dun. And you're just like, stick.
I almost felt like JID was trying to prevent the inevitable riot. If he played Stick to that level, the place would have imploded.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a bunch of kids, coked up, craziness. Like, if you go Stick 100%, 110%, that you're talking about
it's
a couple kids getting
It's
smushed.
inevitable, and it's definitely career ruining. Like, because Travis Scott is so successful, it's the only reason why he's still doing
Heart check
shit.
Heart check.
And so that's something that I did like, was that the Love for Rent tour, they went right in the beginning. As soon as we got there, they were saying like, throughout the sets, we're going to just ask you guys to give us a little heart check, make sure everybody's good. Because there was a bitch behind us who was coked out, drugged, and she fucking fell right on her flat white ass.
She got Petrificus totalis,
dude.
She went ugly.
She went the opposite of Leviosa, dude. She went down, okay?
She laid horizontal.
And I wasn't naked. And
I'm glad she didn't
bad.
grab your shirt to like stay up, because
you
would have gone with her.
I definitely elbowed her off me.
You knocked her out.
I said, get the fuck.
You knocked her. You knocked out a lady.
Yeah, but you know what? She was with a guy, and I knew they were together because they were talking about certain songs they want be played, and like, you know, he was getting her drinks, and then when I turn around, you just hear a large like thud. She drops her drink. Of course, the fucking floor is sticky as shit, dude. I feel so bad for whoever the janitor was.
Whoever had to scrape her off the ground.
There were people passing out, you know, whether it was drinking or drugs or fucking just not drinking water.
I counted five. On our side, including Mrs. Petrificus behind us.
Fucking Miss Trelawney, whatever the fuck her name was, dude, with the big ass glasses. Professor Trelawney, dude. There were plenty, and like, you know, like you said, the concert wasn't that hype, but even still, people are fucking passing out left and right. So I appreciate them, like, you know, checking in every now and then.
Well, hey. It didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Because all the kids are still fucked up.
But I think that was more or less like for the people who are doing mosh, right? Because mosh is like, you know, there's an etiquette. Like if someone falls down, everybody kind of should stop, help that person get up, and then you push them right into the crowd.
The mosh pit is like a self-regenerating, self-correcting organism.
Someone
goes down, someone goes up.
Exactly.
Someone comes out, someone goes in, dude.
I went to the August Burns Red Christmas special concert, and that was up in Reading, and that mosh pit was like a fucking tycoon, dude. I mean, this shit was huge. It was an open pit, and people were just running in circles. And
a circle of death.
And there was a circle, and
that's like the shit that the Muslims do when they go.
Yeah.
They go. Where do they go for their huge pilgrimage? Mecca. When they go to Mecca, and there's the Tomb of the Rock, that big like cube, and they just all go around. It's just
litting it up, dude.
It looks so fun.
There was a fat guy, like 300 pounds at this August Burns Red concert, and he knew he was so big that he couldn't mosh like how we were like running around, because he would have been out of breath like in a second.
Right.
So he stood still, dude. He like got in a fucking Cody 40 Blue stance, dude. He got in a stance. And he just started swinging hammer fists, like in his own area. But there's other people running around.
Right.
But he's standing in the tycoon
just
part.
A flock of sheep.
So everybody's like scrambling around him. And there was, of course, this cheeky guy, right?
He had a big butt?
He was probably cheeked up. But I'm saying he was cheeky in the sense that he went over to this fat guy and he started swinging. And the fat guy knocked him the fuck out, like flat. Like you heard the hit. It was like
Squidward's feet,
just like Squidward's foot. Knocked this dude out cold, and then everybody stopped, got him up, and we knew it was like a hard hit because we actually had to everybody had to stop moving because we would have trampled him. Got him up. He was like, dude, what? He was like, that was fucking crazy. And the fat guy was
best moment of his life.
He was like, don't get in my way. He's like, I'm not moving, but I want to mosh. So it's crazy.
It's not fair that he moshes because he's not actually. He's only experiencing 50% of the mosh.
Yeah.
He's only giving it out. He's not taking it.
No.
No one can hurt that guy.
I think maybe we would need 7 guys to take him out.
Yeah, he's like Hulk.
Yeah.
And the Avengers. He doesn't take damage.
He's Rogue Hulk though. He's not abiding by any rules.
He's Dirt Hulk. Dude. He's Beer Hulk. Just fat. Was he bald?
He had a fitted on.
Okay.
So I couldn't tell.
I don't know. I'm just picturing an ABR 300-pound.
Big beard though.
God, of course.
Imagine Action Bronson with a fitted on.
Big guy.
Yeah. And he had a big ass triple XL tap out t-shirt on.
Now that guy versus the black guy who was dancing and moshing at Jid
Black
Smino.
guy loses 100%.
Because he was kind of built too.
He was big.
And he had invincible energy to him.
He did. He definitely would not tap. But
he was swift too.
But
he could move fast.
Yeah, it's a good fight. I would pay to see that.
I would actually maybe put my money on the little smaller guy. It's the Mountain versus the Viper here.
Yeah, I would believe so. I believe I would pay to see that fight.
That kid was getting down, dude.
Mm-hmm. He definitely could sneak some swift punches. But I'm saying this guy was built like the fucking Empire State Building, dude. This guy was just Still.
Just not moving.
Couldn't move him, dude.
Foundation.
Hey, man. Get a couple jets in there.
It's his nickname.
Make
Is
him
Foundation.
Yeah.
Shit, dog. Anyway, concert was great.
Concert was great.
10 out of 10. I'll recommend the Love Is Forever tour. It's probably all sold out by now, but
Fillmore was sold out for sure.
yeah. I mean, big cities are going to be sold out. They're going everywhere, though. They're going like all up and down the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
It was sick. You want to talk about some music that came out?
Yeah.
Anything else to say about Jid and Smino?
No.
Just, fucking
Fire.
to that homeless guy in the parking lot, man.
R.I.P. He's probably
Not
dead.
dead.
Dude,
I don't think he's dead.
I'm just saying, next time we go, we're going to have to look for him.
But I'll say rip in the sense that I probably won't ever see that guy again.
Yeah.
Because, just moves with
He's
the wind.
He's a rambling man.
Yeah.
Ramble on.
Shit was crazy. New music. This week, I think the big one that you and I have been on has been Young Nudy.
Young Nudy.
Nudy. Atlanta's
Nudy,
own.
I love Atlanta.
Atlanta.
They just keep breeding guys.
They can't stop. It's like a factory for just fat
one of those conveyor belts.
artists.
It's just a machine just pressing them out. Just
gangster rapper, soulful rapper, gangster rapper, jazz rapper, gangster rap. I mean, it's a lot of gangster rapper.
yeah.
Nudy's in that gangster rap for sure.
I love him in Down Bad too.
Yeah, with Jid.
Dreamville.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in that. He's in that song with Boss and Dreamville.
He's kind of got his tentacles on everything recently. He's for sure he's a squid. He makes that money 8 ways. But
He's squiddy for sure.
the guy, first heard about him like maybe a couple years ago as sort of like an artist that was more of a feature guy.
Mm-hmm.
I tried listening to his projects and it just didn't hit me the way that somebody like 21 Savage would hit me, or Young Thug.
Yeah.
And it was probably just because he was newer. But goddamn, shouldn't have eaten that salmon for lunch.
God damn.
His projects, there's one called Slimer. He does a duo tape with Pierre Bourne. Hey yo, Pierre, you want to come out here?
You want to come out here?
I need you for that sound effect.
I got you.
That was a hot tape that came out a while back. That was the first time I heard of Young Nudy. Then one of my favorite projects in a long time was East Atlanta Monster. That came out like 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Dope ass album artwork. Just
Yeah.
like a big, like monstrous booger version of Young Nudy with a bunch of golden guns with red dot sights coming out of his mouth. Who the fuck thinks of that, man?
I always loved that like real like fantasy-esque like shit. Like
His album
Love
covers have been that one was awesome. This Gumbo one is sick. I
Yeah.
fuck with it. So heavy.
yeah.
It's got all the different dishes on the table with a snake slithering in between the dishes, and all of the tracks on the
So
album
symbolic,
are named
too.
after one of the dishes on the table. So there's like Brussels sprout,
Yeah.
pancake,
Yeah.
hot grease,
Yeah.
peaches and eggplants. It's
Yeah.
like everything's on
Dude,
there.
Peaches and I mean I put that on.
That song's a little bit sus to listen to that.
I listened to that, and at first I was like, that is such a weird combo. Peaches and eggplants. I was like, who would ever eat that? And then I was like, oh, it's talking about ass and dick.
Yeah, I go, oh,
Right. Yeah.
it's asses and cock.
Yeah.
And it's him and 21 rapping about that.
Yeah.
I just can't, I tell you, bro, I just can't do it with these rap artists and the sex talk.
Yeah.
It just gets a little much.
Mm-hmm.
The whole song is two grown ass men, thugs, self-proclaimed thugs, what
Yeah.
have you, street boys,
Yeah.
talking just about dripping
I
and
always
glistening
think
and
like
rimming.
what do they look like when they actually fucking? You know what I mean? Like are they like fucking like smiling and shit? Or are they fucking like frowning?
I think they never they don't feel it anymore.
Are they fucking and like the shit stinking? They're like, but like hitting it from the back or something like that. You don't know. But like
Hey,
imagining 21 trying to fuck like, because the culture now is like finding a thick bitch, right? And
But so big you don't even know really
right,
where the entry and exit is.
Because the more extravagant that ass, the better the song is in the bar, right? You're like you're rapping like what's that song? It's like I could fit 10 Tahoes on it.
That's French.
That's French.
That's French.
I hate French, but it's such a good bar. You know, you fit 10 Tahoes on this bitch's ass. Like, that's a big ass, right? But then you got like a skinny, scrawny little guy like 21, or even JID. You know, JID's like 5'4", maybe. Right. Skinny guy. Do you think they're going after these big bottom heavy bitches, you know? And we discussed
they're swagging like the dudes in those Jamaican bobsled ass dances, whatever they're doing. They do like the
they
get the leg up.
They're doing like the worm and shit on the fucking girl's back.
They spin around.
Yeah, they're spinning on the bitch's ass like a fucking like gymnastics.
And then the finishing move is like the Rakishi, dude. They lay on their back and the lady just goes gunk. Just finish them, dude. Yeah. Like Captain Falco and fucking Smash Bros.
No, that's Bowser, dude. Bowser like jumps up and just fucking slams down, dude.
She Bowsers him.
Yeah.
She Bowsered him to death.
She hit that Bowser, dude.
But so I'm gonna, on that note, I think the rappers talk a big talk.
Yeah.
But I don't know which ones could walk the walk.
I don't know, man.
21 Savage seems like he might not know how to have fuck.
Yeah, I think it's like projection almost, right? Like psychology has a lot to do with rappers too, right? Like, you know, like you said, they could talk all this shit, but, you know, some rappers admit like they're not actually about what they rap about. They're just about making money. So they're going to rap about stuff that's culturally like what everybody's talking about at that time. You know, like having drip,
pussy,
getting bitches, getting money, killing dudes for no fucking reason, you know.
Fucking Donald Trump.
I mean, the line is endless about how many things that could be rapped about, you know. But you know who I do think is real?
Santa?
No. I was told the man is not real a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Who?
Duke Deuce. I think that motherfucker is so real. I think that motherfucker is so real. For sure.
Dude, he's so good at crip walking. Dude, he's so good at crip walking.
When he's like doing like CPR on like one of the guys, and he's like, and he fucking gets up and he just starts dancing.
That's Crunk Ain't Dead right there. Dude, I love Crunk is coming back to life.
Yeah. But I don't think, as much as I liked Nudy's album, when they are always talking about sex and all that shit, it's cool, but it gets overrated. Everybody's rapping about it. And JID, I think he's real because he's not rapping about that like necessarily about sex. When he's talking about a girl, he's rapping about pursuing the girl and like the shit that leads up to sex. You know what I mean?
Right. Foreplay.
Right. That's
Cody Blue.
That's a real guy right there.
He talks about it's more relatable maybe,
and
it's less fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Young Nudy's like, I fucked a bitch on a dragon,
right.
You know, on a dragon's back, and just whatever. You know, just mythical shit.
And I dragged my nuts across her face, and then I dragged them back.
Mythical shit,
mythical,
right? Mythical. Right. That's just Nudy's kind of gig, though. Like the same way we talked about Key Glock last week, where the content is kind of not there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like you listen to him more for the cadence and the energy, not necessarily to learn that much. Yeah. So Nudy, I listen to Nudy. I don't necessarily think I'm going to get like a PhD in Nudyisms.
No,
but
I don't agree either.
You know, I'm definitely going to learn a thing or two about the streets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Nudy does it in that aspect. Like, I'm there to use my ears, not my head.
For sure.
Right.
But now on the same note, right? Nudy mostly doesn't talk about stuff with content,
right,
or value, right, or intelligence. You know, no offense, just kind of how it is.
Right.
Sometimes he does talk about more emotional stuff. So there's a couple bars on the album Gumbo that he actually will say some shit that hits a little bit, but it's few and far between.
Do you have like a specific joint?
You know, without using my phone to like see the track list, no. But I don't listen to him for it.
Yeah,
I'll say that much. Like I look at the album, I go down, Shrimp, awesome, great beat. Hot Grease, incredible. Pancake, give me a break.
Come on. Yeah, I liked let's see. I like Peaches and Eggplants. The beat was kind of fire.
Beat goes hard.
You know, I liked Duck Meat. I liked Brussels Sprouts, and I liked Portobello. I thought all of those songs were really good, but like you said, you know, I'm not listening. Sometimes, you know, it's good to zone out and just listen to the beat. You know, Nudy has never struck me as someone who's like there for lyricism, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this album, and I think that, you know, it's cool that now I'm, you know, getting albums from him that I enjoy rather than just features. Because when I first heard of him, it was on Dreamville, and Dreamville went fire. So I was like, I'm looking up all these guys, you know, like Loot. I knew who Boss was, but I hadn't heard from him since like Boca Raton. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I didn't really know any of his other shit that he was dropping. But, you know, he was just like one of those artists that was just kind of to the side. He was an appetizer.
If Nudy drops now a third project, so he went from East Atlanta Monster to Gumbo. Now, if he keeps this momentum and drops a third album of this quality, he will be on a tear. He'll be heating up.
He will be heating
up. The next album is going to be on fire.
Yeah,
it's going to be something incredible to witness. Because, you know, like we said, individual. Listening too hard, not too much value. But the man's quality, so consistent.
Yeah.
So consistent. And to see like how many artists are out there these days who just are like trying to make music and break into the scene. And you got Nudy, just able to consistently drop bangers. Projects where at least 3, 4, 5 songs are going to stay on your playlist. Yeah. That's rare. Very rare.
I keep wanting to say Scrimp, because maybe that's how they say it down in the that's how they say it down in the South. Scrimps.
He got that southern drawl too.
But Shrimp does go hard, and I think I actually don't know if Portobello's is my favorite song on that album, but that and Shrimps is definitely like top for me.
I feel so weird talking about how it's all food.
Not me, and I'm fucking around food every day, dude.
I tried to explain it.
Bread, dude.
You know how dumb it sounds when you're explaining to your fiance, like, so this is Young Nudy, and Young Nudy just came out with an album. Now look at the album cover, right? There's 10 different dishes on the table. Now each track is named after a specific kind of food. Yeah. And then she goes like, okay, well, like what, you know, like what about Portobello is like related to mushroom? And I'm like, I don't know.
Nothing.
There's nothing about it.
I guess maybe it's like, you know, just different plates, right? So different types of variety.
Different palate.
Different mood. Are you allergic?
Right. You're going to send it back?
What's the sodium content?
How was it prepared?
Are you diabetic?
Do you want to be diabetic?
Are you vegetarian? Are you carnivore?
Do you drink or not?
So many of these questions have gone unanswered. But the album is still new. So I think we'll maybe, if we decide to come back to this album, maybe we can, you know,
it's not an
look
if.
A little
this
deeper.
Is the most profound album, concept-wise, in a generation. We're coming back to you know, reveal its secrets.
Yeah.
Revelio. I'm in a real Hogwarts kick recently.
You need legacy.
Revelio.
You need Hogwarts legacy.
I'm bringing it back because I want this concept. It's got levels to it, dude.
It does.
Like the Chamber of Secrets.
It's got layers. It's like an onion.
Maybe that's why there's a snake on it. Chamber of Secrets, Basilisk, I don't know.
Possibly.
Let's move on to another album this week, Slowthai.
Yes.
Did you listen to Slowthai's new album?
Yes.
Ugly.
Yes.
Is he ugly?
To me, no.
What would you rate him out of 10? Looks-wise.
Looks-wise. He's a solid, you know, I mean, based off the money he's making, I'll give him an extra point. But I'm gonna say he's like a 6.
He's a British 8.
British 8.
He's a British 8.
8. Gotcha.
Anywhere else in the world, 6 probably.
Yeah.
But Britain,
yeah,
extra 2 points.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying in the majority, British people are notoriously ugly.
No comment.
No comment. Okay. Well, that's fine. Now, what you are saying, though, is that Americans and the majority of the world are just better looking than British people.
Now, that's correct. Now, that is fact. That's
right,
fact. No cap, no kizzy, right?
Yeah. Right. So British people, kill yourself, right? So do you think he's ugly?
I think he thinks he's ugly.
On the inside, too?
Both.
Yeah. I think he just fucking wakes up in the morning, looks in the mirror, and just holding his toothbrush like it's a fucking cleaver.
You ever just get mad at yourself?
Yeah.
Looking at yourself.
How many mirrors do you think he's punched?
Oh my God, he's got to be in the top tier.
Yeah.
Top 0.1% of mirrors
How many bloody
punched.
knuckles do you think this dude's got?
Just scream and punch the mirror and then have to buy a new one?
Fuck.
Only to punch that one?
Cheerio. He's like, right, I'll do you for that.
He's for sure screaming British shit.
Yeah.
Bitch looking lovely tonight.
Come on, meet the wife, Susan.
Just a bit of banter.
Right.
Just a bit of banter amongst friends.
Now, onto the album. If I had made an album like this, I'd probably think I was ugly too. But he's definitely going on like some sad boy stuff. The whole album's like very depressing.
It's actually, I don't actually think this album is hip hop. Do you?
Well, there's been a lot of trends where people are like breaking off from the standard like thug hip hop, what they're making, and branching off to more emotional stuff. And I think we look at his album Ugly and we're like, okay, if this is like an album he really wants to make and let people know to relate to, this is some emotional stuff that's going on in his head because he made the songs. This is something he relates to, obviously, but it's definitely not like emotions about things that like give him joy. These are like dark shit. This
is like peeling back the curtain and like looking into the soul of an average person who's got their own shit going on, and it's saying people are ugly. Like, what's underneath? Like, I might look good on the outside, right? But inside is ugly. Turmoil, dark clouds, typhoon. So he's got an album where this is what I'm saying. Like, it's not hip hop, first of all, because if you just the definition of hip hop is, I think, opposite of what this is. It's all band instrumental. Like, there's a live, not a live band, but like a band playing all the songs. There's some like synth kind of stuff going on. Yeah. No, like, there's no bass, no overproduction. Not a lot of this is digital. It doesn't sound digital, at least. If it's digital, like drum sets and shit, it's incredible. And then it's a lot of Slowthai singing. It's a lot less of like rapping bars and a lot more of like sing-songy. There's definitely like some verses that he does, but nothing's like, he's not flexing at all. Yeah. And the tracks kind of go like, and start in a dark place and then go just down. And then by the end of it, there's like a glimmer of hope in Slowthai's voice, but man, somebody needs to give my man's a hug because he is not doing good.
I think I know Brussels Sprout, the first song.
You're talking about Gumbo.
Oh, fuck.
Bro said Brussels Sprout.
Because I had it.
Slowthai album. Imagine if the first song was called Brussels Sprout on an album
I'm
about
sorry. I am still talking about his
humanity.
First song. Okay, so Yum, right? Yum on this first track on his album. It's actually quite a long song, but there's a transition in the beat, like 3/4 of the way through the song, and listening to it. It becomes more kind of upbeat, but it still has like the dark undertone of like what's going on, you know? Like, and I see that a lot because there's a lot of people make music that has a dark meaning, but they make like an upbeat sound to make it like more cheery and like
Swimming.
comedic. Yeah.
The whole album, Swimming. Basically, like beautiful
Yeah.
production over just like existential chaos.
Yeah. Well, was Self-Care, was that on Swimming's?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like such a great song. But,
Beautiful song about maybe the most depressing thing on the planet.
yeah, but the song is like, kids love it, right? They don't know what the fuck he's saying, because they're not comprehending like the lyric of the story. But
Well, the key to a good song, and just as a side, is I realize a lot of these songs that are great, if you listen to them without thinking about or listening to the full lyrics and just listen to the catchy parts, it has a different meaning than when you actually pay attention and listen to it.
Yeah.
Like Self-Care sounds like it's all about like self-care. Hell yeah. Like take care of yourself, love yourself. It's like actually about not being able to care for yourself.
Yeah. I also think of the song Nicki by Logic. Logic reveals later in the song that
Right. Oh yeah, right.
it almost sounds like he's talking about, a love affair and someone who he's addicted to, which is true. But then he reveals later in the song that Nicki is actually nicotine, smoking cigarettes.
Where's my Nicki?
And he's talking about how it's like ruined part of his life growing up in that part. So yeah, I agree. Like when you have a double meaning to a whole ass song and you really don't know what he's talking about at first, you're like, wow, this is like a good song. And then you figure out what he's saying and you're like, wow, this is a really good song. Because like, the average person might say, oh, fucking self-care. It's about, taking care of yourself.
Right. Oh, Mac was in such a good place when he wrote this.
Yeah.
A month later, fentanyl.
Killed himself.
No.
Unintentionally.
OD'd. Yeah, he did. I guess he technically did kill himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unintentionally. And honestly, so it's funny you bring up Mac because when I listened to, so the album Swimming by Mac was like a pivotal kind of moment for me, like in how I comprehend hip hop and art and shit, because I actually shit on that album when it first came out.
Yeah.
And I said, what is he doing? It's so sad. I don't want to listen to sad music. It's so slow. I want bangers. I want fun. I was in college. I was like, well, I just got out of college, but I was like, I want more fun. This is like boring and lame and stupid.
Yeah.
And then a month later, he dies. And I'm like, fuck, Mac Miller's gone. Now I never get to experience another banger by Mac Miller again. Turns out, I listened back to Swimming after, like, with everything in mind, and it all of a sudden becomes like the most impactful, like beautiful album I've ever heard. It's in my top 10 albums of all time.
Yeah. I think we
have it. It's not on the wall today, but Faces is on there.
Yeah.
Swimming's under there. My point being is that I listen to this album Ugly by Slowthai and I go, fuck. I never want ever it to happen again where I like write off an artist because of the project they put out is different than what I anticipated. Like that's like a journal for where they're at right now. And if that's true, Slowthai's fucking up, dude. He's fucked up right now. So that makes me worried that he's out there doing drugs, stealing shit,
stabbing people,
fucking who knows what he's doing. But I'm afraid that when you get an album as like raw and emotional and dark as this, it could be a sign of what else is going on in their life. Yeah. Turmoil.
For sure.
Depression. And then actions wise, like I don't know I think Slowthai's clean. I don't think he does drugs or shit like that, but yeah, I don't know. It worries me.
Yeah. Yeah, because you definitely don't want anything bad. Like, because you look at these artists and it's hard to remember that they're real people. And when they make vulnerable albums like this, most of the time, like you said, you take it for granted. You deal as a person with your own bullshit. So a lot of the times when you want to listen to music, you want to listen to something that's going to put you in the right mood. And you don't want to be put into a sad mood unless you're already in a sad mood. So, and if you are a psychopath who likes to be in a sad mood all the time, you need to get things checked out. No cap on that, right? That's some real shit.
No kidding.
But if, like you said, having these sad albums, you start to realize like slowly Slowthai is peeling back these layers, and you're just like what is up, man? Like, because I feel like when you're at that high standard, you don't want to be asking for help. Slowthai is probably not asking for any type of help.
No, dude, he's got his walls up,
dude.
Slowthai's Shrek, dude.
He's playing what 24 hours a day, dude. Just you
sound like a ringtone.
Just bumping and just trying to forget all that sad shit, I bet.
I mean, everybody does that. You just try to like mask the sad shit.
Yeah.
That's like literally what Yeet is. The artist Yeet just came out with an album too called Afterlife is what it was called.
Okay. I have not heard this.
I listened to the album. I tried really, really hard. Mm-hmm. And it's not for me.
Are you going to write him off?
It's just not for me right now. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
Because it's just so mindless, brainless, and even the beat, the production doesn't even really add anything to it.
Right.
And I think this is before, I'm not writing him off. I think I'm just putting him in a box, right?
Okay, yeah.
And later on, I'll open that box and
you're going to mark it. You're going to date it. You're going to put it in the attic.
And then when save him for a rainy day. When it's time, I'll take it out.
A rainy day.
Blow it off, blow the dust off of it, open it up, take Yeet out of the box, and maybe just re-experience. But for right now, it's stupid as shit, dude. It's stuff I can't follow it. I don't think there's any value to it, but to kids who are today growing up in a world where it just probably feels like life is just overwhelming and hopeless. It's kind of probably nice to just plug in and listen into some mumbling Fruity Pebbles for dinner type beat, he's Novocaine.
Yeah.
He's Novocaine for kids to just numb the feeling,
Yeah, I agree. I think, it's hard to be in the perspective of like a teenager right now. You know what I mean? Because you're not living that anymore. You're an older generation. You're really old actually. And
calm down, okay?
Well, I'm still a young spruce chicken, dude. I still got my head.
I can probably jump higher than you, dude.
You're running around, dude. I could sprint still. You can't sprint anymore.
I'm fast.
You're at the age where if you start sprinting, you're gonna check your pulse in your neck. Okay?
Damn, I do be checking my pulse in my neck a lot.
Me though, man, I'm just chilling, dude. I catch my breath and I'm like, I'm good.
No, you breathe real heavy.
I'm good, dude.
You breathe real heavy. You walk flat-footed in circles to catch your breath, dude. Hands on your hips, just like
I do. I am at the point where I do put my hands on my hips, but I've always done that, right? Because
try not to act like you're out of breath.
Take that deep breath and slow breath out, dude. Maybe Slowthai should take some advice from that too.
I think he's doing what he needs to do right now. I think that him making this album is exactly how he processes
the therapy.
It's therapy.
It's therapy for him.
It's absolutely therapy. Like Mac said it when he made his stuff. If you want to know how Mac was doing at that time, listen to his music because that's him writing down how he felt.
Yeah.
Slowthai's doing that too, man. And we knew that back in, when we first heard of Slowthai, it was Psycho.
Yeah.
And the heavy, crazy, just rage.
And Tyrant.
Dude, there's stuff behind that.
Yeah.
Like that rage there's something behind that. Mm-hmm. And we got glimpses of it with like Feel Away, like these little songs that he was putting out that were just kind of sad and kind of made you feel, maybe a little sentimental for him, a little empathy. Now he gives and then it just turns into a whole project about he might be at the brink. To me, like, I said Novocaine already, but this sounds like prime Nirvana before Cobain blasted himself.
Blew up.
Before Courtney Love blasted him. And
Courtney Love blasted. You know what? Actually, I don't know if this is like sad to say or if I'm not cultured, but I never was like consciously around when Kurt Cobain like blew his brains out, and I never really bothered to understand the story.
I think you were 4 years old, so it would be more concerning if you knew about it in the moment.
Well, I'm saying like I never looked into like what actually happened.
There's conspiracy theory. The short and simple of it is that I think he shot himself, potentially could have hung himself. I can't remember.
He shot himself.
I think he shot
Because like
himself.
a lot of people throw bars and like blow your
Right.
brains out like Cobain or some shit like that.
Suicidal thoughts, call him Kurt Cobain.
Right. Fuck yeah.
There's a
Denzel.
conspiracy theory that his toxic ass girlfriend at the time, Courtney Love, killed him and covered it up. But that's all conspiracy theory. Now, if Bobby were here, if Alex were here, he'd 100% think that Doritos had something to do with it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because he loves
and Jack Harlow,
conspiracy
because Jack
theory.
Harlow was still the same age at that time.
Right.
And
100%.
he's been suckling on a vampire's tit.
Mm-hmm.
Just sucking that age down,
Mama.
dude.
That type shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's conspiracy. We don't actually know that that's true.
Yeah.
The simplest explanation is that Kurt Cobain, if you ever listened to the albums like Novocaine or In Utero, the guy was fucking mental.
Yeah.
There's literally parts of In Utero. I think it's In Utero. What's the album where it's like the
baby?
No, that's a different album. I'm talking about the one that has like a body, like a female body on it, like this.
I'm not sure.
It's got wings. I think that's In Utero. He just is screaming bloody murder over guitar. Just someone taking a hairbrush to an electric guitar. Just
But that's also the thing. Like, that's the only album cover I know is the baby, the naked baby with the little penis and the.
You should
dollar
go
bill.
back.
I should go back.
Nirvana. Some people will say Nirvana was not the first one to do that like emo grunge rock sound, but they were definitely the best.
I always hear that Nirvana was like the top rock band of all time.
People love them.
Yeah.
People love them. I think people put Nirvana up there with like Pink Floyd.
I think the last like generational best rock band out there that's still around, I think that's Green Day.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
But who's above them, right? Like Red Hot Chili Peppers and Green Day.
They're right there.
You think? I don't know if they're still making music. I think they are.
They are.
Samurai Cop, I think, was a song by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I think they've both released albums in the last 2 years.
Have they? I don't know. I've probably listened to more Red Hot Chili Peppers than I have Green Day. But I think out of those two, honestly, even though I listen to Red Hot, I think Green Day might be a little above them, just based off of the actual songs.
They're definitely, Green Day's more punk.
Yeah.
So they fit more into that grunge style, whereas Red Hot Chili Peppers were always kind of this like a little bit more lighthearted.
Yeah. Suck my kiss.
Right. More like like maybe poppy is the wrong word, but they were like
alternative,
West Coast, maybe alt rock. Like they just took this sound of like this really like bouncy, like stringy guitar.
You know who we need for that though? You know who we need to talk about Red Hot?
Do we need to bring
our number one fan?
Do we need to bring our boy into the fold?
I texted him on his birthday. I wished him a happy birthday, and I was like, "We gotta hang out."
When was his birthday?
The 25th. It's right after mine.
Oh man!
Dude,
big shouts out to you,
slip.
by the way. We didn't say happy birthday to you last time.
Yeah. You know, Daddy's getting a little older.
Big shouts out to old Poppy.
Big
That's what they call him.
Big 2-8.
And then less. Big shout out to both of you. You and PC, our boy.
PC.
Wherever you are out there, PC, we're thinking about you. I made a wish on a star for you.
I think he lives local. I think it's like maybe Pittsburgh. I could just bullshit that.
That's not local, buddy.
It's not Indiana.
It's 6 hours away.
It's not that. He moved back closer.
Because Pittsburgh's not. What do you mean? You just said he moved to Pittsburgh.
Well, I was
let's not also say where he lives.
Well, I don't know if he lives in Pittsburgh or not. I'm just saying, like, I think he's more closer to us now than he was before. And I just picked Pittsburgh because he definitely doesn't live in Philly.
Pittsburgh
Steelers.
Let me down a boat. Anyway,
shit.
Let's wrap this up. It's Slowthai's album, Ugly. Very good. It's very different. It's in that same vein where Yachty just came out with like a trip hop kind of punk. What would you call it? Psychedelic rock album. Like
definitely psychedelic for sure. He's experimental. So this is what Slowthai's doing right now. He's dealing with something. And I, for one, am not going to be on the other side of this one. If he comes out with
this project sucked.
If he comes out with a second, sadder album, I'll be concerned.
I'm already concerned.
I think right now it's therapy. He wants to get it out, lets those demons out, because it is demon time.
Bro, listen to it again. It's uncomfortably emotional.
Daylight demon time.
They're not
Turn those clocks back.
These are not songs to ever touch the aux chord. Not one of them.
Not even Yum?
Not one of them.
Not even during
They
that
get
beat switch?
uncomfortable consistently. They get uncomfortable, screaming, almost like crying, talking about killing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, what was the Never Again song that he talks about? He'll never see his lover again. I mean, bro, my heart is broken, though.
Yeah.
My heart
You know,
out. My heart.
boy's going through some sad boy hours.
Big sad boy hours. Man's fighting demons.
Yeah.
It's demon time. I'm a savage.
But that's not Slowthai.
That's St. John. Anyway, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, not really.
Let's wrap this bitch up.
Yeah.
We'll be going to my bachelor party before this episode drops, so we'll have already gone through the gauntlet by the time this is out, and we will maybe talk about it a little bit next time.
Yeah, we might give you a snippet. We might open up a Patreon, and you'll have to pay to see that type of shit.
Yeah, a lot of big stuff coming for the podcast. Really excited about all of it.
OnlyFans.
No buttholes though. I don't think that we agreed on the butthole thing.
Well,
for me at least, in my contract, I don't want to do butts.
Okay, fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Can you do the butt stuff?
I could.
All right.
Yeah,
we'll talk.
We
should have this guy back next time.
Oh yeah, third guy. We didn't even mention him.
People saw that he wasn't here.
Yeah.
He's a presence.
Yeah.
And you also, if you were listening, you knew he wasn't here because we stayed on topic.
Yes. And you didn't hear the whole time. So, who knows? We might fire him. Might get a new guy in here. New third guy.
We might crowdsource his throat surgery to fix his breathing. And we might permanently turn on his microphone.
That would be great.
But we're working on all of these things, and he's going to be back next week. It's going to be excellent. Yeah. So let's wrap this one up.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
And we'll see everybody for episode 176. See you.